Hello everyone. So I am doing a live because I want to talk about how to be happy. And this is not something where you're going to be happy every single day, but I want to give you the tools to help you. If you do feel down, you can go to these tools and then you can feel happy again, because it works for me. But I know we have different emotions and we go through different things every single day. So in the type of country or world we live in, especially with social media, sometimes we don't have a choice of what we are consumed with. So it can mess with our emotions. And some of us are aware of it, and plenty of us are not aware of what we may be doing to our mental state and our physical self. So basically, a little brief overview, have learned through my own experiences the difference between happiness and unhappiness. I have suffered depression a lot of my life since I was little, but obviously as a child it wasn't detected, and no one around me knew that I was depressed, because generally they probably were going through the same thing themselves. So as I grew older, I had issues. I've spoken about it on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to delve into it too much, but I want you to understand that I understand what I'm talking about due to the fact of what I've had to experience myself, and it's not nice. So I had to find tools and I had to gather information, and I'm still on this journey, and I believe I will always be on this journey to find out how I could raise my vibration. And there is a hell of a lot of information out there today, thank God, because social media has its pros and its cons. So I was able to gather a hell of a lot of tools, and a hell of a lot of people, thank you to all of you, have created so much beautiful books, planner, wellness, but there is a whole range of products out there. I can't even explain every single one of them. I've got so many and I want more, and this is what I'm going to continuously keep building up on, because it's definitely my niche and I love it. So even though this depression has been my biggest downfall, it's also been my greatest blessing. So like I said, it's all about the yin and the yang for me, because out of my downfalls came so much beauty as well. So in order to be happy, you have to understand, are you happy in the environment that you're putting yourself in? If you want changes in your mood and the way you are as a human being, if you're happy within yourself, are you happy within your relationships? Are you happy with, what you do every day, what you do as a job, etc., etc., etc. We can make those changes. And a lot of people think, to get from A to B, it's a struggle. Yes, it can be a struggle when you're not in such a very happy place. That's when it's a struggle, because when you're feeling low within yourself, everything just looks like a cloud, a dark cloud. You understand? So you need something to help you, to lift you out of that cloud. It's very difficult to do it by yourself. We've got mentors, I forgot to say that as well, on YouTube. There's lots of mentors. We've got audio books now. There are so many tools out there, like I said, wellness planners. There's trauma workbooks. I forgot to say about workbooks. There is so much out there which it can be overwhelming because you can have to spend, and there's so much I still want that I believe I need. Do you understand? In order to get out of a lot of traumas, past traumas, etc. And my emotions, I'm having to reprogram my emotions because I've internalized a lot of negative feelings, basically. So these are all the things that I've learned with all of the tools that I have brought myself, because my mental health plummeted severely. And it's not something that I knew about. I was never trained when I was older. There was no information around when I was older. So I couldn't detect or basically stop what happened to me. It was too late for me. But it doesn't have to be too late for a hell of a lot of us. And I'm hoping and praying that I can undo all of the issues that I still face today. But what I'm saying, and I want to go on, if we were given this knowledge when I was growing up, I would have had a lot of good habits in the way of my mental state and in the way that I treat myself as a human being. And that is self-love, self-care. We need to love ourselves, okay? I didn't know nothing about self-love, self-care when I was growing up. So a lot of neglect was around me, and we called poverty was around us due to past generational problems. So in this time, because there's so much knowledge out there and so much tools, I'm able to love myself more today. So we don't have any excuses today, but we have to be willing to put in the work if we love ourselves. If we don't, then we're not going to. Okay? If you've got any type of health problem, you can do this work as well. No matter how severe the health problem is, it could be chronic one, you still can put the work in. And I know people think maybe, I don't know, I can't think for anybody or everybody, but from my experience and what I've heard, people will think, oh, it's too late for me, just give up on myself. Because that's the situation, because I'm speaking about different types of people now. That's the situation. So you could be very healthy today and be naive and think to yourself, well, I don't need all of this stuff. Yeah? But you're very unaware of where you may need to continuously keep up your positive habits, positive beliefs, or you may be somebody that reads this knowledge and can be of help to somebody else. This knowledge can take you, or tools, I shouldn't say knowledge, but tools can take you to places that you may not know. You may be able to end up being an entrepreneur. You may be able to build a brand. You may be able to go and travel the world with it. You don't know what your calling may be through reading this knowledge that I'm talking about, or having the tools. I say knowledge because I was talking about all the different knowledge that is out there. But basically, when you enhance your happiness, you're able to see clearer. You're able to see your way in life, your calling, your destiny, your vision, your community, what you might be able to contribute, your family, and what you may be able to contribute in a different way. New ideas, innovation, love, communication. It always will continuously keep leading you to the next steps. Evolution is all about evolving. We never stay the same. And some people just like to have the same mundane routine. If you're happy with that, then fine. I'm not saying that you have to make changes in your life. Some people just like things just the way they are, because I'm talking about happiness here, remember that. So I'm just talking in different places. I cannot speak the same because we have all different people that think differently. So in order to keep happiness within your life, you need to be aware if that's what you want. Do you feel like you don't feel good within yourself? This is where I figured it out. I remember once upon a time that I would constantly just be sleeping all the time. I still have these days, so then I know I have to make changes. That's a sign of depression, when you're constantly sleeping and you can't get out of bed, or you can get out of bed and you get out of bed and you feel sluggish and you feel really, really down in the morning, and you just don't want to enjoy your mornings. That's a sign that you've got low moods. And how can you enhance these moods? You can listen to high vibrational music. We have to be very careful of music nowadays because it tells us a story, and you have to understand what that song is speaking to you about. Is it speaking anything positive to you? So you have to understand what type of music you're putting into your unconscious mindset. You don't want to put anything that is not helpful to you, and you need to understand the different types of hertz in music can play with your emotions. Now, you don't want music that are giving you negative emotions, so be very, very vigilant on what type of music you're listening to, because some of us think that, yeah, it's really lifting us up, and then the imagery that you're watching as well, it may not be helpful to you. So I generally listen to something called happy music on YouTube. So I type that in to the toolbar and I watch. I listen to happy music. So it's at a hertz that is so high, and it raises my vibes every single time I listen to this happy music. And there's loads of different music videos on happy music. There's no like people or anything like that, and they've actually got a playlist as well. I think it was Justin Timberlake, I don't know who else there's on it, and it's the music is high vibrational, and it always works to lift my moods every single time. So when I wake up in the morning, I put on happy music, and without fail I get up out of my bed in a much happier state of mind, and my inner world is lifted. Without fail, happy music is a must if you really, really, really want to feel better within yourself in the morning. Also, I generally came on here because I wanted to show you this book. This book, to me, is a lifesaver. This is called, I put this upside down. This is called Affirmations for Happiness. So there's 200 positive affirmations for a joyful mindset every day. This works. And the thing about this affirmation book is it sends me to a magical place, and I never realised. And what it does for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for myself, is it just shows me images and a perception that, yes, I'm not opening the door, I'm on a line. 1 second, there's someone at the door. I'm not going downstairs, Jay. You have to go down there. It's not a package. Oh gosh, it's dropped down. Sorry about that. My daughter was telling me about the door, but she won't go down there. And this is dropped. I'm not expecting anyone, so I don't expect anyone to just turn up my doorstep like that. And sorry, this is dropped. Let me try and pick it up. So, I'm going to try and explain what it does for me. It really brings me to another world. It changes my perception, because like I'm living in this like subliminal world, like it's an illusion, yeah, and it's too much to bear a lot of the time. All of the, you know, protests and the rioting that's going on, and if I go on social media, sometimes it's not always so positive, and everything's so materialistic as well. Everyone's into material things, they're getting their head done. Like, my hair's a mess, I haven't done my hair, but I don't feel away, you know what I mean? But everybody wants to look at a certain look, you know, and it's all about glamorizing yourself, putting on makeup. I've got no makeup on, and having your hair immaculate. There's just some days I can't do it, I can't get to it, do you know what I mean? So I have to come as I am. I don't want this pressure of constantly running around to, you know, look a certain way. I am me, I look like me, and if you don't like it, then what the hell can I do about it? Because I have to love myself. That's another thing that can make you feel down. And the numbers that you have on social media. I've been on social media for years and I don't see no progression on here. But I still come on here because even if I can just reach one person, I feel grateful nowadays for that one person. At least I can share something with somebody, because I truly believe that what I have to speak about is of value to a hell of a lot of people. But if my audience is not growing, it doesn't have, I don't anymore see that it's a reflection on my videos anymore. If I just reach one person, that's good enough. So that's all about self-esteem, and that is to do with happiness as well. So this affirmation book helps me with all of that, right? And it helps me to see me, because it's all about happiness, okay? And that's what I need inside of me. There is not many, in fact, I don't think I've heard much people talk about happiness at all. And it's something I'm going to talk about a lot, because we need, just like, I'm going to start, it's a habit. Happiness is a habit, because a lot of us have been trained to be the opposite. And a lot of people are not aware of it. And the reason why I know this is, once upon a time, I used to have so many people around me. And all these people did, majority of them, I don't think, I might have met a needle in a haystack, meaning it literally was that hard to find somebody that was happy. But the majority of them would just moan and gossip and talk about negative things. And I obviously had an awakening after what I had endured, because when I was very severely down, there was no one to pick me up. They just made it worse. And then they were saying things to trigger me. And then no matter how much I talked about what I needed in order to be okay, it seemed like these people were being even more spiteful. It's like they were getting a kick out of it. And then all I ended up seeing is evil from these people. So I ended up having to cut off a hell of a lot of people, right? And it's severe. My story is severe, yeah? And to this day, people are trying to hide it under the carpet. But I've now got a hell of a lot of proof now that positivity is the way God intended all of us to be. So I'm talking about happiness. I don't want to go off track. In order to be happy, if you're not trained to be happy, happy affirmations will get you to where you need to be. So I will do more research on getting more tools about happiness, because I've got a kindness one. It's good to be kind as well, but I'm going to look up some more tools for happiness, because this is the only one I've got in the way of books about happiness. I've probably got a few other books on how to, you know, build up your confidence but I have not got happy affirmation books. I've got loads of affirmation books downstairs, but I don't want to go and get them right now because I want to focus on this actual book today. This is why I came on here. Now I've got none upstairs. It might probably downstairs. And I want to say some affirmations from here as well, because I think it is a must. And a lot of people will debate me and say it's okay to be negative, but I know the truth, and no one will ever lead me off of that track into believing what they've said about negativity. Because a lot of people say, oh, you have to be negative. It's not so much you have to be negative, it's, is it serving you? Is it helping you? Have you looked at that to see if that's really true? Do you understand? Because what is it doing to your life? Nobody really looks at it. I've looked at everything very thoroughly, and I've been through a hell of a lot, which I'm not going to talk. I think I've spoken about it on one video about how to overcome depression. I don't know if I was very detailed, because it's very sensitive to me to speak about the negative things I've been through in order to prove my theory, but I don't need to prove myself to anybody either. Happiness will enhance your life. Happiness will change your life. Happiness will give you an amazing future. Happiness will give you amazing relationships. And if everyone around you could include themselves in your vibe, then it will make it even better. Because when you're happy, everything will bounce off of you. Obviously, you can't be around negative people, hang out with them and have them as your best friends. But you will know the difference on who's for you and who's not for you. And then you can create your own community of people that really damn well listen to the fact that being good to each other in the way of happy vibrations is the best thing to do for each other. And people need to wake up. That's really the truth of it. People need to wake up to the truth of what happiness really brings to your life. And it's all about you as an individual. Yeah? You have to understand the benefits it brings you, because it's all about bringing value to your life. Do you care about yourself? Do you love yourself? If you're not aware of it, you're not going to make no changes, and you're going to come up with 121 excuses on how I'm wrong. Yeah? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to progress within their own self, and also how to set goals to say, hey, this is how I'm going to get myself to be happy. Because no, it's not going to happen straight away, because I'm still on the journey, and I've had this affirmation book for some time. There's days I forget to read it. Yeah, there's days that I don't appreciate it, and I've had this for some time. Yeah, but what I do know is for sure, and I'm not promoting this book either, this is just one of the books I've got. So this is a definite book that I can say I would keep in very close to me. I have it upstairs when I remember it all of the time as well. And say if I'm downstairs and I want to feel happy, this book always comes to me. So I'm not promoting it. I don't get no money for this or nothing. Yeah, I'm just bringing a tool that I know definitely works to bring happiness. So this is just one thing that I'm showing you, because oh yeah, and then obviously I've got this as well. Gratitude is very important. Read up about gratitude, because I can say gratitude and you're going to think, oh yeah, gratitude, and that's it. There is a wealth of information out there about gratitude. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and when I first heard about gratitude, even though I used to say to people, thank you, I always used to be like that, thank you, please, and people used to think that I was some type of wimp, yeah, when I was talking like this. But I've always been quite polite to people, and I was bullied a lot growing up as well. So When I was polite to people, I got a lot of bullies treating my niceness as a weakness, but it wasn't a weakness. I just found out that I was a positive person, and all these other people, because they were trained, seemed to think that negativity was powerful. Yeah, but it's powerful up to a certain extent until your future comes in. Do you understand? Right? Because everything you put upon yourself will eventually catch up to you. What you confess over yourself, you have planted it. Do you understand? But you think you're getting at the person in front of you. This is why people that are polite need to understand that people that are negative are not more powerful. A lot of people growing up, I know in my time, would react to the negative person, and if you react to them, then you're imaging them and you're taking on their way of being. And this is something that happened to me as well. I would end up upset in front of the negative person, because you remember, anyone that's in front of you is your mirror image. Yeah. So if you're in front of someone and they're bullying you up and they're telling you you've got to do this, or they're manipulating you, or they're gaslighting you, or they're a narcissist, there's many narcissists out there, because a lot of these narcissists have got their way with people. And what the issue is, it's called manipulation, I call it. They turn the tables on you, so they will intimidate you, and they will come and they'll go on like they're big and large and bossy. And no, you cannot be around these type of people at all. I've tried to be around these type of people. I've tried to get them to image my goodness, and they're not having none of it. Yeah, because these type of people, I call them bullies. They are out to get their own way. And when these type of people are out to get their own way, their image ends up coming onto you. And in the church, they call it a spirit. It's called a bad spirit. And their spirit ends up coming on you. So it's very advisable, as you're going on your happy journey, stay away from any type bully people that are trying to get something out of you. Yeah, that are trying to get you to follow them. If you follow them, you're gonna pick up their traits, their feelings, their mindset, their emotions, and you're gonna end up very unwell. It's happened to me so many times, and I constantly had to keep reading and writing to figure out what happened to me, because my health deteriorated very badly around these people. Now I have to keep myself to myself, because every single person I could possibly say has done it to me. I don't think there's one person that hasn't tried to lead me in their negative ways. Yes, because not a hell of a lot of people I know do not read, do not incorporate anything in the way of positivity, because they constantly want to keep telling me, oh, it doesn't go like that, oh, it doesn't go like that. They really believe they are fit enough to lead people, but what you image is what you become. What is it, Jade? What? I'm on live. No, he's talking to me. I mean, I'm talking. I'm online. My daughter's talking to me.
Can I use one of your apples? I'll buy you.
Yeah. So this is the truth, and I know this. And so many people try to deceive me because they think I don't know what I'm talking about, and it annoys me because I know what I'm talking about. If you image any type of negativity, eventually it is going to affect your mood. Yeah, it might be start becoming a part of you, but you might get bad imagery of it. You may not take action and become it, but you might end up getting a lot of bad imagery, nightmares, etc. if you're constantly around it, right? So I have to keep myself to myself, because like I said, I don't think I've met anyone that wants to admit that I know what I'm talking about, right? Or they are saying to me that we're all human and we're not perfect. And no, we're not perfect, but it still doesn't give people the right to go around expecting people to be doing what they want you to do, or you to be led by them. Yeah, if you don't have anything good to put into people, even to say a please or a thank you, or or be loving, at least you're not qualified to lead anyone. Do you get where I'm coming from? That means you need to work on your mindset, or just stay away, and don't come and bring no type of damage to people's life, because plenty of people I've met seem to think they know how to lead my life and how to rearrange it and correct it, and I haven't met a person that to this day that knows how to do that for me. So I read these type books all of the time, and I listen to audios all of the time, but that's what I love. I love being around everything positive. I love being around everything that's going to enhance me. I love listening to beautiful words. It's just what I love doing. I love reaching out to figure out how I can create a more of a beautiful environment for myself and my children. Okay, so this book says here, I'm going to read an affirmation from it. I can identify happiness in my past, present and future. So that alone is just one affirmation. So that gets me thinking, oh, when did I have a happy time in my past? So I something's come up in my mind. So it's encouraged that already. And my presence, I'm looking around my little girls, my home, and I can start focusing on something happy already, and that's just one affirmation. And my future, and that is a lovely affirmation. And then it goes on to say, my free will is a gift that I put to good use. I always have choices. I will utilize this superpower to take whatever action is most empowering for me in that moment. I'm thankful for my ability to choose happiness. And happiness is something that needs to be understood, researched. It's something that you can study, happiness. And the more you study happiness, the more you're going to understand it. Because I would love to do a course on it. And I hopefully in the future, I get to put together a course on happiness and some books, etc. That is a dream of mine. Because it's not taught. And people seem to think it's just a word, happiness, and that's it. How are you supposed to know? There's so much information around that one beautiful word, and it's so heavenly. I want to call it heaven, because we are supposed to live on heaven on earth. Because if you listen to the Lord's Prayer, because this is not religion, I will not be promoting religion. I'm talking in the way God is not religious. Okay? God is love. So when I'm speaking about God, I'm speaking about the God of love. And love is just kind. God is kind. Yeah? So I'm not going to talk too much about that, because I will talk about God another time as well. So what I'm saying is, if you listen to the Lord's Prayer, it says, as it is on earth, as it is in heaven. So that means we're supposed to live heaven on earth. So as it is in heaven, it's supposed to be here on earth. That's what it means when they say the Lord's Prayer. And I'll get into that another time. So we don't live in heaven on earth because we have not been reading and focusing on the right knowledge. Okay? So who's telling you, go and do a research and write a book on happiness? And really make sure that you're writing about happiness. Go and do a course on happiness and go and teach it. Do you know how much you can get from that one word? Do you know how many people are looking for happiness? And yes, I love all the cars and all the makeup and all the clothes and all the material. Don't get me wrong, I love all of it myself. Yeah? But you're not just going to get happiness like that. That's not what happiness is. Happiness has to be internalized. Happiness has to be seen inside of the mind. Happiness has to be your perception. Happiness has to be something that you're walking and talking every single day. And then you end up creating. You get me? Happiness has to be among your friends and your family. That would be really nice. But like I said, when people have been trained up to be the opposite, that's all they know. And they will never tell the truth in what they really should be, because they want to make up 101 million excuses around why they are all right the way they are. But if you're bringing misery to someone's life, you're not in your right. You're the opposite of God. So, like I said, that one word happiness, because I'm coming off here in a minute, it is a whole beautiful world, I want to call it. And there is so much a lot of people do not know about it. So I study the word happiness, that one word. And I will be studying it and studying it and studying it, because there's a lot I do not understand about happiness. And I've been looking about it for a long time. And a lot of people want to talk about material things. Yeah, far too much. And houses and cars and hair and makeup and going on private jets and going on holiday, etc., etc. Yeah, it's nice for all of that, don't get me wrong. Yeah, but is that making you happy 24/7? Is it just you showing off? Yeah. And then you're going to the club and drinking alcohol and dancing to music that you don't even know what you're putting inside of yourself. Are you creating goodness? You know what I mean? Because I don't want to talk about that too much, because that's about something totally different. But do you even know who you are? Because if you're not 100% happy, you're not going to know who you are. You're not going to be aligned with who you are. Do you know what I mean? Right? So I'm going to do some more affirmations. Happy affirmations are on YouTube. Just type in happy affirmations, they will come up as well. And then you can listen to them at night, and you can get up in the morning and you can say them in the mirror, or you can say them while you're doing your makeup, or you can say them in the kitchen while you're cooking. Or you can have headphones on when you're outside, wherever you're going. You can say them walking. You can say them in your car. Yeah? There is plenty of affirmations. There's articles. If you type in Safari, what does happiness mean? Type in the word happiness. I'm sure a hell of a lot of information will come up. If you want happiness journals, I know for a fact there's a lot of that out there as well. Okay? So, I'm going to say another affirmation. I welcome joyful surprises and big blessings. I'm opening myself up to receive big, happy changes in my life. I'm ready to take in the best of what life has to offer. I will embrace and appreciate whatever is around the corner. So that is taking away things that are uncertain when this says I will embrace and appreciate whatever is around the corner, because unhappiness with uncertainty. Because uncertainty, there's a lot of people uncertain. A lot of people do not believe in seeing their future because they think that's fortune telling for some unknown reason. So that can bring a lot of unhappiness as well when somebody is uncertain, you know. So by saying this affirmation, well, it's not just affirmation, it's writing, obviously a little bit of writing as well, but it's called Affirmation Book. I'm opening myself up to receive big happy changes in my life. I'm ready to take in the best of what life has to offer. I will embrace and appreciate whatever is around the corner. So it's just giving you certainty as well, and that will give you relief and happiness as well. I follow the feeling of relief. See, my relief leads me to my greatest joy. Whenever I'm unsure of what to think or what to do, I simply do whatever brings me long-term relief. Following my relief feels good, and that's exactly what I do. So it's just all these words are planting seeds. You may not see it today, what it's saying, but if you keep saying it, eventually it will become a part of you. Okay? So you'll just feel relieved, and you won't feel that, what's the word? That sort of like less or unworthy or lack of belief in something, whatever it may be, that's making you feel down. You'll feel relieved with it, because what this affirmation will do is bring solutions. And it doesn't so much have to be a solution that you found. It can be a solution where God has directed someone to you. You've been led to an article, you've been led to a book, you've been led to a mentor. Even your own child can come. My son turned up yesterday and brought me some relief yesterday. So God sent him yesterday, and I felt a lot more happier. So lots of things can happen, but by reading about happiness, it will lead you to what is happiness eventually. This is not something that is going to change today. Yeah, these are affirmations that are planting seeds to grow into a beautiful flower. But you have to be consistent, and you have to keep doing it, and eventually changes will come. Believe you me, I know affirmations work. They are powerful. There are so much different types of affirmation. Read up about affirmation. Today we are very blessed to have them all over the place. This is what I remember as a kid. I was searching for spiritual stuff. I call it spiritual, but I don't want to put a label to it. All right, because spiritual is a lot about healing. That's what spiritual is. So then you've got personal development. You can see it as a type of personal development, and it's for your mental wellness, because all of us have a mind. So we all have to look after our mind, body and soul. Yeah. So when you talk about the mind, it doesn't mean that you're crazy. You have to, every single one of us has to take care of our mind. And there's not one person out there that can tell me that I'm not telling the truth. Yeah. Those that don't want to take care of their mind are too lazy to take care of themselves. That's what it boils down to. Okay. So there's another affirmation. I'm making my life an expression of joy. See, that's so beautiful. I love that one. And I can just sit down and meditate on this affirmation. And sometimes what I do is I write it down and stick it up around wherever. I remember at one point I used to have affirmations all around the house, and they weren't typed up, they were just written, because I just used to love writing affirmations all the time. But I've gotten to the point where I type them out and print them out on my computer now. But that alone, that affirmation alone, has just brought so much joy already, you know. And I've only read a few to you already, yeah. But to be honest, this book is very, very powerful to me. And I mean, like I said, I will be buying more and more and more. But I haven't really got everything out of this. And I think this is a type book that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. This is like a, for those that, something like a Bible. I don't want people to be offended, because I know how sacred Bibles can be to some people, and they won't want me to compare it to that. But like I said, when it comes to understanding of what I'm talking about, because of what I've been through, I know what I'm talking about. So please don't take offense if you're watching this. This is to do with my own personal experience. And sometimes people need to stay out of people's business and when they're talking a certain way, because I've been through far too much when it comes to my mind. So I know the feeling it gives me, and I've read a hell of a lot of books. Yeah. And when I read this one, it just brings in such a beautiful atmosphere, and I can still feel that affirmation penetrating around me. Yeah, and that's what it's about. You want words that are going to vibrationally lift you up without you having to put in like a bloody digging event, like you're digging a grave. You don't want it to be that hard. And what I find with these happy affirmations here, because I can only talk about this affirmation, but because, like I said, I cannot speak for any others because I don't have any others. I think I've got like old books that people are talking about their experience and what have you. And I've got other affirmation books, and I'm telling the honest truth, I only really get the power from this book and the way it helps me to see. So I'm just telling the truth. I'm not trying to promote this book. I really just have to be authentically truthful. This is what this is about. This is why I speak like this. So I'm making my life an expression of joy. I say this every day. I'm going to create this. I'm making my life an expression of joy. And so much can come from that one affirmation. So I'm going to read a few more and then I'm going to go. I'm going to be someone's sunshine today. See, that's so nice. It makes me smile. See? Bringing joy to others brings joy to me too. Today I'm going to shine my light on anyone and everyone who's willing to receive it. No matter what the weather is outside, I'm making my own sunshine everywhere I go. I'm making my own sunshine wherever I go. That's beautiful. So I don't have to wait for the sun to shine. And it is needed, that affirmation is needed when winter's coming in. I'm in England, so winter is soon coming in. And I was saying to my daughter yesterday, how are we going to cope with winter? Because I get low moods when it's bleak outside and when it's constantly windy and you have to wear your hat and your gloves and your scarf and put on the heater all the time and keep topping up the gas. So I was asking yesterday to my daughter, and I was speaking to God about it as well. I don't want to feel low throughout the winter. I want to feel happy. And this affirmation, so my prayer has been answered. So I need to read this affirmation every day. Bringing joy to others brings joy to me too. Bringing joy to others. So it's all right to bring joy to others, but are they going to appreciate your joy? So bring joy to people that appreciate your joy. Yeah, because I have been around a lot of people, like I said, that has not appreciated my happiness and my kindness and my politeness. So I'm going to keep saying this affirmation, and I know I will be led to people that will appreciate the joy that I bring to them. So I will be aligned with people like me. So that's what I see from this affirmation. That's what it's showing me. That's what it's telling me. Because before I done this affirmation, and I spoke about it in the beginning of the video, I used to think, I'm going to keep meeting bad people, and then it's keeping me by myself. But by saying this affirmation, it's showing me you're going to be aligned with people that are joyful. So it's changed my perception. You get me? I'm going to shine my light on anyone and everyone who's willing to receive it. Who's willing to receive it. So I will attract people that are willing to receive my sunshine. No matter what the weather is outside, I'm making my own sunshine everywhere I go. And imagine that. So I don't have to depend on the sun. So I love the sun. I'm always saying I want to live in a hot country. I want to live in a hot country, but I can't get there yet. Right? So this affirmation alone, I'm going to be reading it. I need to put something in place so I can keep that. And then you can, like you said, mark it with your stickers. I'll do that in a minute. I need to get my markers downstairs so I can put it in place, because my favourite, this is a favourite affirmation of mine now. And in fact, what I might do, because I haven't got my markers are done, so I can't go. It's not a marker, it's my sticky tags, because I always have favourite affirmations from here as well. So I should have done this downstairs. I was going to do this downstairs. So appreciating my body more often encourages my happiness. For every flaw I want to change, I can find at least 3 things that are amazing about my body and focus on those instead. And this is very important as well, because this is important if you've got poor health. You always have to focus on your positive aspects of yourself, of your body. You cannot focus on the problem, because you focus on the health problem, you're going to make it grow. If you can focus on the healthy parts of yourself, if you're ill, this is for someone that's ill, then you will generally grow more healthier. So this is important, this affirmation as well, for happiness. Because if you're focusing on anything negative of your body, say like you want a flat belly, because I used to go on about my belly over and over again because it hadn't flattened here, because I was suffering bloating at the moment because of the foods I'm eating, obviously the stress I'm going through, I'm going to say was going through, because I don't want to focus on it. And I had to learn that through, and I've also got some health affirmation cards downstairs from Esther Hicks, that I have to focus on the positive aspects of my body, and I have to love my body. So I have to tell, because if I'm telling myself that I don't like my belly, I'm creating problems for myself, isn't it? So I never saw that type of perception before until I read this book and the health affirmation cards that I've got downstairs by Esther Hicks and Jerry. Is it Jerry Hicks? And I don't think it's Jerry Hicks, but his name's Jerry. But I said, yes, it's true. So I love my arms. I love my skin colour. And I was looking at my eyes yesterday, so I love my eye colour. You know, even if my hair was this messy, I used to put it down. Like, I'm taking it out today, right? I used to put it, I said, no, I love my hair. I've been saying that I love my hair. And when I take it out of the plait, I used to criticise the way I done my curly. I said, no, I love my hair. I'm so excited about seeing my hair. And I love my belly. So I just put happiness now over myself. Right? So this affirmation is saying the same thing. For every flaw I want to change, I can find at least 3 things that are amazing about my body and focus on those instead. That's the best thing to do. Focus on what you love about your body. And say it every single day. And if you catch yourself talking negative about any part of your body, change it quickly and say it, and go back to the 3 parts that you do praise. Okay? The more I acknowledge what a magical blessing it is to be healthy and alive, the more, I'm going to say that again, the more I acknowledge what a magical blessing, we need to be seeing the blessings of how brilliant it is to be alive. The more I acknowledge, because sometimes we are like, oh, this and this is not going well, what's the point? Some people, those people, they want to commit suicide. Read this affirmation here and you'll be all right. And then read it every day, and the world will show you everything amazing and why you're here on this earth. You will see your calling. Do you get me? The more I acknowledge what a magical blessing it is to be healthy and alive, because that's what people need. People need help to see their calling. We're all divinely put on this earth for a reason. We're all supposed to do something very beautiful, but our mind